Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here, and today we continue the Rocky saga in 4K. We've now arrived at the third installment in the franchise, that of course being Rocky III, originally released in 1982. I'm going to unbox this release, share my opinion, talk about the movie, the transfer, and so forth, and let you know if I recommend this release or not. Here's a nice close-up of the package there. Continues the same motif as the last few Steelbooks with a black and white cover, but red titling and certain coloration to other elements, in this case, Rocky's gloves. There's the spine text. Here's the backing card, which has a few pictures, and then all of our text, descriptions, legalese, all that good stuff. On the back of the Steelbook, we've got Rocky and Mickey training together. Inside the package, we have our digital code. Then we have our two discs. First of all, we have our 4K Ultra High Def disc of the film. And then we have our Blu-ray copy. Unfortunately, it is just a reissue of the previously released Blu-ray, so that is disappointing. Inside the Steelbook, we have our artwork this time around. You got Rocky working the speed bag. One big disappointment I do have in regards to this Steelbook. Nowhere on the packaging is Mr. T pictured, even though he plays the main villain in the film, and that's kind of a big oversight. I mean, he's on the backing card, but that's not really the same thing. Yeah, right there, but I mean, he should be on the Steelbook. I'm going to read the description of this film as follows from the backing card. Rocky has the eye of the tiger. As Rocky Balboa fights his way into the hearts of millions, life couldn't be better. But when Clubber Lang KOs Rocky in a humiliating defeat, it becomes apparent that the Italian stallion has lost his edge. Considering hanging up his glove, Rocky receives encouragement from an unlikely ally, his old nemesis, Apollo Creed. With Creed's help, Rocky strives to regain the eye of the tiger before confronting Lang in a grueling rematch. Again, this was the third film to come out in the Rocky series. Rocky 1 and 2 were both a little more drama-driven, and that worked really well in the first film, though it admittedly meandered a bit in the second. Rocky 3 really takes things into the 80s in a big way. The movie moves much faster than either of its predecessors. Those movies clocked in at right around 2 hours, whereas Rocky 3 runs for a brisk 100 minutes. At this point, Stallone really started to eschew the more dramatic elements in favor of the action and the boxing matches, putting spectacle and style over substance. Although in this case, I think it actually benefits the series as a whole, because I don't think we really wanted to see a retread of Rocky 1 or 2 again. There's more action in the opening montage of Rocky 3 than there is in all of Rocky 1 and 2, and that, I think, did work to the movie's favor. We even get to see Rocky participate in an exhibition match against the World Wrestling Champion, played by a young Hulk Hogan, which is quite entertaining. And despite the move the series took at this point, there are still plenty of decent dramatic moments, including, Rocky losing one of his greatest allies, and then, of course, his developing friendship with Apollo Creed, something that, of course, would come full circle in a brutal way in the next film. Rocky III continues to flesh out this universe in a big way, and of all of the sequels to the original Rocky, this may very well be my favorite one. It definitely ups the action, and again, it brings the series into the 80s in a big way, and does that very well. It is a solid enough film, and well, most fans, I think, would probably prefer the more drama-driven approach of the original. I have to say, I've always had a soft spot for Rocky III. I think it's a great film, and Mr. T as Clubber Lang is one of Rocky's most interesting opponents. He's certainly a far cry from the lovable and charismatic Apollo Creed, and Mr. T plays this part to perfection. It's almost a shame he didn't really get to reprise this role in any later film, because he plays it so well. Now, like I was saying before, these releases of the films on 4K have been a bit hit and miss. Picture quality's been really good for the most part, but there have been some audio issues that make me wonder if these were rushed out in time for the theatrical release of Creed 3. In the case of Rocky 3, it's probably the most inconsistent looking movie of the ones that I've reviewed so far. There are some absolutely beautiful moments that have a ton of detail, and the Dolby Vision really helps those black levels and makes the colors a little more vibrant, but then you get some shots that are just awash in digital noise, and they just look like a mess and lack any detail. I don't know if there was any noise reduction or artificial enhancements used on these. It's still a massive upgrade from the Blu-ray edition, but I do think it probably could have looked better. Some of these issues may just be because of the original source material. I can't quite give this one high marks, even if it is still an upgrade from the Blu-ray. The earlier two films, I think, looked a little more consistent. This one has more, moments that I wasn't the biggest fan of in terms of picture quality, but again, still an upgrade from earlier releases. Sadly, no bonus features because the Blu-ray we get with this, again, is a reissue of the older one, which didn't have any bonus features on it to begin with. It really is a shame that Sylvester Stallone couldn't find the time to make commentaries for these at least, because those would have been great to listen to, especially considering he had time to go back into the studio and cut Rocky IV. I have to say, in regards to the Rocky movies, these 4K releases have looked really good for the most part, but there have been a few issues here and there. Supposedly, Rocky II had some issues with its volume pitch, and apparently this release has some issues with the pitch of the foreign language dubs. I don't watch those, so that doesn't affect me in any way, but anyone that likes to watch foreign dubs of the movies might want to take that into consideration. I personally would hold out for a Rocky box set that has all 6 movies in 4K and remastered Blu-rays, maybe a ways off, but that might be your best bet in the long run. Are you a fan of Rocky III? How did you think it looked in 4K? Have you picked up this release, or are you holding out for a more comprehensive box set? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content because I'm always posting new videos, and be sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.